He really feels he's sitting on a very good football team. His team will get the ball first. Davis, kind of a line drive kick, a one-hopper to Metcalf. Comes out from too deep to the 10, tries to get outside and does. Now he has to cut it back, still on his feet, but doesn't get past the 15-yard line. Jake Plummer will come on, a guy that I know you like a lot, Plum.
I do. I think almost Joe Montana reincarnate. I know he's got a long way to go to get that name for himself, but he's very charismatic. He makes his team rise to a different level when he's out there. He's very mobile. He can throw on the run. He can get first downs rushing the football. A very exciting football player, and only started 9 games last year through 15 touchdown passes.
He knows how to win, too. That's a real bottom line. Morrell in the backfield along with centers. This is Morrell, and Morrell gets to about the 90-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 4. Let's take a look at how these teams line up. First of all, for the Arizona Cardinals, very good, solid, and big offensive line with Brown, Dishman, Graham, Lester Holmes getting a start, an addition this year, and James Dexter. Morrell and centers of the running backs. McWilliams was up about 30 pounds at 271 with Rob Moore and Eric Metcalf in the ball game. Frank Sanders, their fine wideout, will not play today. The gift is to centers, and he gets to about the 22-yard line. Greg Biekert makes the stop. Here's the way the Raiders line up defensively. They got the 2 guys from Temple on the outsides, Harris and Johnstone, with Darrell Russell in his 2nd year and Russell Maryland. Linebacking core for the Raiders. This is a place that John Gruden and everybody involved with this team feels needs some work. Mike Morton, Greg Biekert. You saw Folston on the other side. Charles Woodson, who has proven everything. Coming out of college have been exactly the same as he's taken into the NFL, and he appears to be very much the real deal. Give to Morrell straight ahead. He's going to get the first down, I believe, as Mike Morton makes the stop.
You know, and that's one of the things they have to work on, stopping that running game. They did a very poor job, obviously, last week against Tampa. Tampa ran at will the entire night.
They were not pleased the way the defensive end position played, not just the starters, but in general against Tampa Bay. Felt they really got exploited.
And the Raider defensive ends, with Johnstone and Andre Bruce are undersized to begin with.
Split backs behind Plummer. And straight back for the first time goes Plummer to throw. He does, and a great catch by Eric Metcalf. About a yard short of the first down. Metcalf was hit just as he went up for the ball and still managed to hang on.
Eric Metcalf, 10 years from the University of Texas, has done it all in this league, running back, wide receiver, and punt returns, and you see why he's such a great receiver with the way he was able to concentrate on that bobbled pass.
Here's a quarterback's play right here, Plug. 2nd down in inches. They go out of the I formation. Basically a free play for Jake Plummer. And they give to Morrell. Morrell will get the first down across the 40 to the 41. He gains 3.
Yeah, and there's John Gruden. Obviously he's got to be a little concerned after last week's performance. Not a very good both sides of the ball, special teams, you name it. Things weren't very good, and it kind of really burst his bubble. He was kind of pretty down all week long after that loss. It was his first loss as a head coach, and I think it just kind of shocked him somewhat.
Nickel defense now for the Raiders on first down. Play fake this time. Plummer rolling to his right, throws underneath for the tight end McWilliams. He's going to have another Cardinals first down across midfield. Louis Riddick runs him out. Big target, Johnny McWilliams.
He's a very big target, but doesn't catch a whole lot of passes with centers or Rob Moore. Doing the majority of the receiving. He's used mainly as a blocking back.
And this time they come with 2 tight ends. There you see what he's done in the preseason. McWilliams, as we said, he played at USC at about 240. He's now 271. First down at the 49-yard line. Single setback, 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts. And Plummer changing the play here. Plummer short drop, throws him out, and it is that time. Nice pass. Rob Moore on the receiving end.
And Eric Allen closed very well on the ball, almost tipped it away, but the pass beat him just in time. Here you see it again. He closes extremely well on that quick out. Very tough to stop, but he almost does it, just misses it by a hair. But good position by Eric Allen closing on the ball, and that's what you got to do. And if he does make the catch, hopefully it's no more than the 5 yards at where he caught it from.
By the same token, Plummer threw a very good pass. Rob Moore at 6'3" has 5 inches on Allen. Threw it up there for him. This time he comes the other way, and this ball was caught once again by Rob Moore, and that's going to be another Arizona first down, and they're making it look easy right now.
I tell you, Jake Plummer is tearing them apart. They're running the ball well, and Jake Plummer is putting the ball up everywhere. Both wide receivers, Metcalf, Moore, the tight end. He's mixing it up very well and looking very sharp doing it. He came off a very good game last week against Seattle.
Interesting to see how long both these teams stay with their #1 offensive and defensive units. Offset eye this time. This is Morrell. Gets inside the 35 to the 34, gain of 3. Russell Maryland on the stop.
Yeah, and one of the things I've noticed both last week and the start of this game today with the Raiders defense, they're not the penetrating, slashing defense they were in the first 2 games. They were disrupting the blocking scheme and getting into the backfield. And in the last couple of games, they have not been able to do that. So that's why these teams are having success running against them.
That was just man-on-man blocking, too. And Cardinals getting off the ball a bit quicker than the Raiders early in this ball game. 2nd and 7. Somebody jumped. And that's going to cost the Cardinals. Adrian Morrell started early, and I think he took Lomas Brown with him.
Yeah, and part of that might be due.
Repeat the down, 2nd down.
Part of that might be due, Barry, to the fact that he was an off-season acquisition, and he's taking some time to get used to the offense and the cadence.
Great come with Pat Swilling and Marquise Walker into the ball game. And an extra defensive back with a bit more quickness. Single setback this time, slot right. A draw play to Morrell, and Morrell gets a little bit of a gap inside the 35, down about the 33-yard line, so he got the penalty and Moore back.
Yeah, but this is the kind of situation, if you're a defensive coach, you want them in 3rd and 5 or more, 6 or more, 7 or more. The Raiders, in a sense, have a little bit of an advantage in this kind of situation, rather than being only 3rd, 1, 2, or 3.
It's going to be 3rd down and a long 5. The ball just short of the 32. There's Vince Tobin. 11th play of this first drive for the Cardinals. They go out of the shotgun. They will run out of this also on occasion. Not this time. Plummer to put it up. Goes underneath. A clear out for Metcalf. First down and more at the 20. Cuts it back and down he goes.
For a lot of years, Metcalf specialized in being the 3rd down receiver out of the backfield. Very tough to cover either by a linebacker or sometimes by a defensive back who might have him in a nickel defense. He gets lost up in that line of scrimmage, and he's tough to cover. And here he goes across the field, and it looked like a zone, or either that or Mike Morton had him and just let him go, but it might have been a zone, and he was able to clear out and make an easy reception.
Got away with a clip too. Take another look here. You'll see a clip come up behind him. I think you'll see it. Well, you won't see it. Give this time just to Morrell, and Morrell gets to the 15-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down. Good first down yardage, though, and that is significant.
Oh, it certainly is. Put your defense in a big bind, and they're running behind, Lomas Brown, a 14-year veteran, played most of his career at Detroit, but, they're going over there because he's got good size, strength, and experience.
Mario Bates in the ballgame now. Morrell, I think, had an equipment problem, so Bates is the tailback now. On 2nd down and 4. This is Bates running. He has to cut it back, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. He didn't get much more than that. Good defense that time by the Raiders. Darrell Russell.
And according to Gruden, Darrell Russell is one of these young guys who's got to step up and play a little bit better than he has been. He's got to make a difference. They moved him inside the tackle, which should be a natural position, and they do get some penetration there, make him cut back, and hold him to no gain.
So now it'll be 3rd down and 4. The ball at the 15-yard line. First possession for the Arizona Cardinals here. They've used more than half the first quarter. Again, McWilliams in motion. Play fake, a little bootleg, and a toss to McWilliams at the first down at the 8-yard line.
And by gosh, he looked a little bit like Montana. Quick fake in the line of scrimmage, roll out to the right, so he's got a better angle to throw that short pass to the tight end coming across. And it's a pretty good rush by Russell, but Jake Plummer's so quick, he's able to get that to McWilliams.
Everybody talks about Jake Plummer's feet. I want to ask you about that a little bit after this play, Plunk. Had a chance to see him a great deal in college, and pretty special player, I think. Blitz comes, draw play, and Morrell gets to the 5-yard line, and the flag is down. Let's talk about the feet of Jake Plummer. That's a real attribute that not a lot of people talk about in a quarterback.
Well, you're asking a guy who didn't have any, but Jake.
Number 64, not up on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, first down.
A little bit of a break for the Raiders there, but yeah, Jake, he can move around, he can get out of trouble, he can step up, he can sprint to the outside. He creates so many problems for a defense. Plus, he wears them out. They've got to chase him all over the field, and by the third, fourth quarter, that starts to tell on a defensive line, especially. And he's a big playmaker. He can come up with a play that'll either get you the first down or the touchdown.
And somebody told me too that he never asked to take his eyes off looking downfield.
Right.
Plummer to pass. Throws underneath. Moore, tough catch. At about the 7-yard line, Greg Biekert on the tackle. Rob Moore, the real deal. I mean, he's a guy who, because of his namesake, Herman Moore, gets so much marquee. And I think Rob Moore and Herman Moore, probably two of the top 5 receivers in the National Football League.
No, he had 97 receptions last year for a league-leading 1,584 yards, so the guy can play and get open and do the things you need of a wide receiver.
Second down and goal. Play a bootleg, and now Plummer will run at the 5 and dives to the 4-yard line. He has won, at least at college, won as many games with his legs as he did with his arm, I think.
Absolutely correct, and I think if that was any other defensive end besides Lance Johnstone, he probably would have scored, but Lance Johnstone, being a little bit undersized and with a great deal of quickness, was able to trip him up. But he doesn't hesitate, and that's another good sign of a good quarterback. Make your decision and go with it.
So it's 3rd down and 5. And Plummer will put it up, looks to the end zone, throws, caught at the goal line by McWilliams. He's short. Louis Riddick makes the stop, and I've got to think the Cardinals will go here, because at the very least they'll put the Raiders 99 yards away. Well, it shows you what I know. I think they're going to kick it.
See it.
No, I think they are going to go.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's just their jumbo offense down there. But there he is, a real quick throw, a great Williams, who doesn't catch a whole lot of passes.
That ball was actually thrown behind him. Yep. A terrific catch. Pittman is the tailback now, lines up behind Rod Brown. And all the big guys, they'll try to get Pittman outside, and he gets there. Touchdown Cardinals, and you don't have a drive any prettier than that one.
Oh, to say, they mixed it up extremely well, ran the ball very effectively, and Jake Plummer didn't throw one incomplete pass on an 18-play drive.
18 plays. I mean, that's pretty unusual.
That's a half.
Yes. Yeah, it took 11 minutes and 40 seconds. The Raiders have not touched the ball, rather 10 minutes and 40 seconds. The Raiders have not touched the ball yet. Joe Nedney will try the extra point. I mean, that's as good as you can do it, I think.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they did it all.
Nedney's try for point is up and good. And the Cardinals take a 7-0 lead on an 18-play drive that ate 2/3 of the first quarter. That's the way you draw it up, folks. Super Bowl. Bet about 2 months ago up in Tom. Every time you buy clothes at Sears, you come with little kids in crisis. Well, the Cardinals lead it 7-0 on an 18-play 1-yard drive. That was a thing of beauty. I mean, that's any coach. I'm sure John Gruden is saying, "Boy, if we can do that, we're going to be all right."
Well, and I think they'll be able to do it at times. But that was a picture-perfect drive. You know, Jake Plummer was 8 for 8 for 61 yards. You know, you can't be any better than that. Perfect on that drive.
And I wouldn't be at all surprised if that may be the last we see. There goes the baseball hat. So that's a good indication that Jake Plummer is going to be on vacation until next week. Nedney will kick it away to Desmond Howard, who stands on the line, and I don't know if he's going to have a chance at this one. Good leg by Nedney as he drives it about 8 yards deep, and the Raiders will start at their own 20-yard line. Look it up at the Arizona Cardinals by 7. Well, the Raider offense might have to go out there and loosen up all over again, as it took 10 minutes and 40 seconds before they get possession of football for the first time. Jeff George, of course, the quarterback, and you see his preseason, and it has been rather impressive. He hasn't had a lot of work. Hollis has seen a lot of action. I expect we'll probably see even more action this afternoon. But George will be out there for, what do you think, 15, 17 plays, you said, Plunk?
Yeah, I think so. I talked to the coaches. That's what they want to have them go out there and do. You know, that's always subject to change, though.
Let's take a look at the offensive line for the Raiders. Harlow, Wisniewski, Robbins, Graham, who was playing a little bit hurt today, and Kennedy. And the Raiders start in the I formation. They need their confidence back. That was a real flashing last week. And a flag is down on the first play, and it's going to go against the Raiders' Pat Harlow, who jumped. As you look at the skill people, as Napoleon Kaufman, a running back, trying to get himself on track.
First down.
And it would be important for Napoleon to have a good game, I think, going into the first week of the season. Get his confidence built up, get the offensive line feeling good about the running game.
Well, not an auspicious start, as the Raiders go backward 5 yards before they were able to run a play. Ritchie comes in motion now, turns, goes the other way, and it gives to Kaufman once more, and Kaufman gets nothing. Eric Swan, one of the better defensive linemen in the National Football League, there to make the stop at the line of scrimmage.
There's so much to talk about Eric Swan.
Well, there he is, Eric Swan, with Smith, Rice, and Jerry Drake, who is getting a start ahead of Brad Otis. Otis still injured, probably could have played it for a regular season game. Kaufman and Williams both in the Raiders backfield now, although they bring Williams up in the slot. Straight back. George with time now throws, and he overthrows the intended receiver, who was Ricky Dudley. And I have an idea he purposely overthrew it.
I don't know if he did. I think he was trying to squeeze it in there, even though that safety was closing in on him. Number 42, Kwame Lassiter.
So it'll be 3rd down and 14, and this crowd is about as quiet as you will ever hear at the Coliseum. It's like a jury right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that.
Same set this time, and they bring Howard in motion. George straight back screen for Kaufman, and Kaufman surrounded. Well defended. Stopped at the 20-yard line, gained 4. Mark Smith and Pat Tillman on the stop. I'll tell you, Plunk, Pat Tillman's another guy that our spotter Dick Quinlan and I, we of course had the opportunity to see a lot of the Pac-10 teams on Fox, and we saw a lot of Pat Tillman last year. He was undrafted, and he's a guy we were saying all along, no question, this guy's going to make an impact someday, somewhere, and they love him in Arizona. So 3 and out, and in rather unimpressive fashion for the Raiders, as Aragoose will punt to Eric Metcalf. Hit this one pretty good. It drives Metcalf back inside his own 30 to the 28, but look out. Oop. And Metcalf's feet now, 1 step away from breaking that, gets to the 41-yard line. 52-yard punt, but Metcalf brought it back. Polston on the tackle.
Go, boys, go! Traitor. Then there's my wife. She thinks she can talk to the Of course, so does Sam.
Irvin was wide open.
But with her, the quarterbacks talk back.
Ma'am, please tell him Irvin was covered.
Sam, Troy says he was covered.
With NFL Sunday Ticket, I see all the action. But she sees the games and little green men.
Big green men.
Right on, Brett.
Hey, what am I missing?
NFL Sunday Ticket. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
Okay, then. I'll get it.
Good call, Sam.
Right.
Welcome back to Greeley, Colorado. Preseason home of the Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos. I'm here with Roger Craig and our NFL.
Market throughout the bay, wherever you want. See who it is. If we have a winner, looks like we do. Who's going to be our winner? Still looking for one. Look at the video. Congratulations. The Raiders fans to get connected with Cellular. Congratulations to our winner. And be sure to visit your local Sprint PCS dealer.
We welcome you back. 7-0 ball game. Arizona leads. The Raiders 3 and out. The Cardinals have the ball back for the second time, and they will have a whole bunch of new people we'll tell you about. Look at this team last year. 9 games were decided in the last minute or in overtime, and they only won 3 of them. They allowed 78 sacks. That's the second most in the league. To that end, they went out and got Lester Holmes. They are trying desperately to improve their offensive line and give their quarterback Jake Plummer a Plummer's night is over, as Stoney Case will come on to play quarterback. And Case will go up on first down, and we're going to get a flag before.
You know, very common occurrence when a new quarterback comes in. The cadence is a little bit different.
Prior to the snap, false start, 89, offense, 5 yards, first down.
Look at the numbers on Plummer. That's gotta like those.
Especially when you their last regular preseason game, getting ready for the start of the season with those kinds of numbers.
Try to set some of the Arizona players for you as we can here with Case. Mario Bates is the running back right now, and this is Bates at the left side. Doesn't get much. Might have even lost a yard. There's a look at Jake Plummer. His day is over. 4 touchdowns in a game. Only 3 other rookies have ever done that.
It's hard to believe, huh?
Second down and 15 now. Split backs behind Stoney Case. Case, 4-step drop. Looking for someplace to go. Gets a little bit. Slides safely at the 38-yard line. Got a couple back. Darrell Russell makes the stop. Penetration again by the Raider defense.
Yeah, this is his 4th year with the Cardinals. He of all of 96 only played in 2 games, 2 starts after he took the place of Kent Graham a year ago. Entered Jake Plummer.
Charles Woodson with a little shot on Anthony Edwards. Edwards wasn't even supposed to play tonight, or today rather. But he is out there. Bates and Brown are the setbacks behind Case. Case deep drop this time. Steps up, throws over the middle. Caught by the tight end Terry Hardy. Hardy, a rookie out of Southern Mississippi, trying to find a spot on this Cardinals roster.
Well, obviously, that means you can follow the Saints, the Raiders,
The Giants follow.
Looks like holding against the Raiders there.
With NFL Sunday Ticket.
Well, again, that couldn't come at a worse time if that's the case.
Yeah, they could have gotten the ball back on the punt, but one bad thing after another happening to the Raiders so far.
You want to order NFL?
Defensive holding, number 54, automatic first down.
Greg Biekert on the defensive hold, and that thing I'm sure will make John Gruden just nuts.
Could make any coach nuts.
Well, it would. It's happened all too frequently, of course, with this football team, and that was something that he vowed was not going to happen this year.
Well, you know, I don't, in the preseason anyway, I don't think penalties so much have been a problem as they have been in the past. Concentration seems to be on other things.
Continues to be a discussion with the officials right at about the 5-yard line. And now we're set to go.
13 games a week. NFL Sunday.
First down, the ball at the 43-yard line. Stoney Case out of New Mexico from Odessa, Texas. Good size, 6'3". Raiders show blitz, and they come with a blitz that's picked up, and Mario Bates got about 5 yards on the play. Greg Beaker, Lewis Riddick on the stop for the Raiders.
Now that defensive line of the Raiders still getting handled pretty well by that offensive line of the Cardinals. They're finding holes to run in, picking up yardage. The Raiders have to find something to do to counter that.
Edwards and Brock are the wide receivers now for the Cardinals, and Case checking off here. Case, short drop, throws complete, too tall, intended for Fred Brock.
And already right there, Barry, you see the difference in Jake Plummer and Stoney Case. When he dropped back, he hesitated a second. The ball was tipped and fell incomplete, but that little hesitation by Stoney. Instead of getting rid of the ball real quickly, you know, he hesitates and makes all the difference in the world.
So now it is third down and a long 4. Nickel defense for the Raiders. Single setback is Mario Bates. Set 3 wide receivers. Now they bring in motion. Brock to the near side. Case deep drop. Shakes a tackle. Throws too tall for a wide open Kevin Drake.
They brought some safeties that time.
Only this time in the rehabilitation of his knee.
And it's a good outside rush. See, by Pat Swilling. Here again, somehow they messed up the coverage though, and they let the receiver run free. Unfortunately, the ball was overthrown.
Yeah, Case missed him, and he had him wide open. Howard lets this one bounce. It comes back and goes sideways and out of bounds to the 3-yard line. Well, it's all going the way of the Arizona Cardinals. Scott Player with a punt that actually hit. Now, they may be saying that's a touchback now. We're going to find out. We'll come back. Sure didn't look like a touchback.
4 yards pacing the sidelines, but running the field. Could forgive this future Hall of Famer for being a little anxious to put the help in that ball. I got butterflies. Go out there and go on one and not worry about this.
They did call that a touchback, so the Raiders will get a bit of a break at least and start at the 20-yard line. I told you they're all out here. Take a look at a picture of efficiency here. This is Jake back, perfect toss there. Great line charge. Play fake this time. Nice catch by McWilliams. Then the pitch for the touchdown to Pittman. Merely perfect. 18 plays, scoring drive. 8 for 8 passing for Plummer, and his day's done. The Raiders start at the 20. Slant for Brown. Catches it, fumbles it. Cardinals have it, and they're going to say incomplete pass, and I'll tell you what, that was very close.
It was. The referee saying he bobbled. Have real good control of it, and the ball was thrown a little bit behind him. Made for a tough catch for Tim Brown.
McKinnon was the guy who picked the ball up. Take a little look, see what you think.
Couldn't see it too well, but it didn't look like he had very good control of it.
Hard to say.
Yes.
So it's second down and 10. They give to the Kaufman, who breaks it, gets across the 25 to 26-yard line. Ronald McKinnon, the middle backer, on the stop.
You know, that's your typical call on second down and long. You go for a draw there.
First quarter ticking down, 5 seconds. I don't think they'll get this play off, and we'll have to wait for the second quarter. Quarter that was dominated by the Arizona Cardinals. They lead it 7-0. Well, they started without us, and Jeff George hitting Tim Brown over the middle for a gain of 20. Jameer Miller on the stop. Now you can see it.
Yeah, it's third down and 4 yards to go. Just a straight drop back pass by Jeff George. His number one receiver, Tim Brown. It's that easy sometimes.
There's John Madden and Al Davis together again.
I wonder what he's saying.
Kaufman gets the call, does a great job to keep his balance, and gets close to the 45-yard line. I'm sure they're saying that was pretty nice. John's not saying anything, and that in itself is a rarity.
But Al Davis, he's looking for action on every play, and obviously that's sometimes very difficult to get. But those are his goals out there.
Second down and 6. Put backs behind Jeff George, Ritchie and Kaufman. They have a jet in motion. 4-man rush, and that time George unloaded a little bit before Brown made the break, and those are the kind of things you want to work on in the preseason.
Yes, you do, but a lot of pressure on him that time. And I think he that pass. There's Brown going into his break, but the ball's already thrown. He had no chance to get to it that time.
So it'll be third down and 6. Slot left this time as they line Brown up in a slot, now bring him in motion. Blitz comes, and George has to get out of there. Can't. He's wrapped up and dropped back at the 39-yard line. Simeon Rice and Jameer Miller.
It looks like Simeon Rice is back from an off year last year. We only had 5.5 sacks. I guess he got. There you go. Good pressure. And there he is, brought down.
I think Miller really made that play. He came on a blitz. Aragoose will punt it away. Wobbly kick off the side of his foot. Eric Metcalf says let it go. Now he picks it up, and he took a big hop. Metcalf's got a gap, and he's caught effort that time by Jermaine Williams. That saved a big gainer. We're coming back.
I think Brett is he's dreaming right now. If he thinks he's faster than I am.
What I do is like shave my head during the season, and then they just put stickers on the side. I headbutted John in the first Super Bowl, which is pretty stupid.
I'm going out there without a call. Sorry.
Pick a hot. No, I could get one. I'm looking forward to it.
They got to win. So this season I've chosen.
Fans, please direct your attention to the video board to meet today's PSL fan of the game, Mr. Adam Kramer. Mr. Kramer was chosen at random from the list of all PSL holders. He and his guests met Raider legend Jack Tatum and were on the sideline during the Raiders pregame warm-up. All Raider PSL holders are automatically entered into this drawing as another way to thank loyal fans. For more information on Raider PSLs, just call the OFMA at 888-44-RAIDERS.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We welcome you back. Barry Tompkins, Jim Plunkett at the Oakland Coliseum. Beautiful day for football, but not right now. If you ask the Oakland Raiders, they trail the Arizona Cardinals, who dominated the game 7-0. Defensive changes now for the Raiders. Richard Harvey into the ballgame for the first time. Picked up on waivers, Plunk, from New Orleans earlier in the week, and they are actually talking about the fact that this guy may challenge for a starting job.
And, you know, according to some, he may start at any one of the 3 positions, but they think he will wind up starting the season or soon thereafter.
Stoney Case, the quarterback, with Mario Bates in the backfield. Edwards comes in motion. Bates gets the call. Bates reverses field and gets absolutely nothing. Grady Jackson was the first man to it.
And already Richard Harvey making his presence known, but the player who made that play was Pat Swillian. By keeping his leverage, didn't let the back, when he reversed field, get outside of him inside, so the pursuit could catch Mario Bates.
Gain of 2, it'll be 2nd and 8. Ball right at the 30-yard line. Let's look at Grady Jackson. Big fella, he. 320 pounds. This is Bates again at the right side, and Bates gets a couple more to about the 33-yard line. Jackson again on the stop for the Raiders.
And Grady Jackson has been talked about all training camp as being the most improved player in their camp. He just came back determined, lost some weight, but he's been playing very, very well.
Project player out of Knoxville College. You're not really getting the caliber of competition, needless to say, that you do in the D1 schools.
Well, do you think Eric Swan got more competition at the Bay State Titans?
He went to the same school as I did. None. And Otis Sistrunk went there too.
Right.
Out of the shotgun now on 3rd down and 6. Raiders showing blitz. They don't come with it. Case throws through a dangerous pass. The ball was caught by Fred Brock. And it's going to be a first down for the Cardinals.
Perry Carter in on that play, and you know those are tough to stop, but you got to find a way to do it. You got to close on that ball and either knock it loose after he catches it or swat it away. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to do either.
So a first down for the Cardinals at the 40-yard line. This time, Case looking deep. He's got Brock out there, but he overthrows it. Sonny Case, an interesting story, actually. Second half of the game last year against the New York Giants, threw for 222 yards, earned the starting spot the following week. He went out and threw 4 interceptions, and in the 4th quarter, they brought in a guy named Jake Plummer. So Stoney Case, kind of the Wally Pipp of the Arizona Cardinals.
So far, he was under a little bit of pressure by Pat Swilling, and the ball was overthrown. And the pressure will do that more often than not.
Michael Pittman in at a running back spot now for the Cardinals. They like Pittman a lot.
He's a 4th round pick.
Yeah, rookie out of Fresno State. Throw for Drake, who makes the catch, but he wasn't going to go anywhere. James Trapp made sure of that. Drake, a rookie out of Alabama Birmingham. I think he's only the 2nd player ever drafted out of Alabama Birmingham.
You know, not much of a route, just a 2-yard route. Easy throw, easy catch for just 2 yards.
So it's 3rd down and 8 now.
And you should complete those kind of passes.
Well, Al Davis is known to like speed, and he certainly has that in James Trapp. You see those numbers. NFL's fastest man 1 year and runner-up twice. Raiders showing blitz here, and they come with a blitz. And they pick it up, and Case throws, and it's caught by Edwards for a first down. That was a nice ball that he threw.
Very nice, right on time, very accurate. And, you know, one thing you do when you blitz, you better get to the quarterback because you have your cornerbacks back there one-on-one, and they pick it up really well. Not much pressure, and he's able to throw it right on the money. You know, just a simple outplay. James Trapp really had no chance. You got to get to that passer.
So first down for the Cardinal in Raider territory at the 49. Single setback is Bates. 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts. This is Bates, and Bates is caught right as he took the handoff. Chuck Osborne, another guy we saw a lot of in the Pac-10 conference, was a nose guard at University of Arizona. And Bates is down. Bates has been troubled with injuries throughout his career, and this is something that the Cardinals, needless to say, you don't want to see. No team wants to see it in the final preseason game. We'll take a timeout. We're coming back. By a rookie, Michael Pittman. This allowed the first down pass to Edwards. Pittman, as you see, will come over, make the block as brought James Folston. Now watch.
It'll be, you know, it's a little early yet.
And Barry, sometimes that's what, you know, backs have to do. They have to help pass protect on a lot of occasions, not just run and catch the ball.
Second down at the 49-yard line. Short drop this time, and Case throws knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Andre Bruce.
And you know, Barry, sometimes that's why so many running backs have a tough time of catching on to a system. They can run the routes and catch and carry the football, but they've got to recognize blitzes. Who do they have to pick up in each situation, each blocking scheme? And you know, we've all worked with guys that, you know, sometimes it takes them 2 hours to watch 60 minutes even. And, you know, they've got to pick this up quickly if they want to play.
Third down and 11 now. And they'll go out of the shotgun. Case with a lot of time. Was hit as he threw, and threw kind of a, I don't know what that was, but Edwards might have made the catch. He did. That's a great grab by Edwards. I don't know what that was that Case threw out there, but it sure didn't look like a forward pass.
Yeah, it wound up being a nice reception. You know, and James Harris putting a lot of pressure on him. But, you know, he picked a spot. He knew where the receiver was going, and, you know, the end result was a reception and a big gain.
That's a great grab by Edwards, although it looked like it bounced. Nonetheless, it's preseason, even though they can't review that. So it's a first down. Case pump fake, finds some time, looking for help, and now he'll run, and he got about 6 yards on the play.
You know, in this day and age when, you know, the defensive ends and the pass rushers are so skilled and so quick, sometimes you have to be able to run out of trouble and pick up first down. Or pick up in this case.
That's where he was looking that time. Good coverage by Marquise Walker. So it's going to be second down and 4, and the give this time is to Pittman, and Pittman showing some quicks, will be close to a first down.
Michael Pittman, the ball carrier.
And Albert Lewis makes a nice play on it. He came up hard. You know, he's got to get used to that free safety spot. So he's got to read those guards, read those running backs. He's got a lot of work to do back there.
Pittman may be about a half-yard short, Plug.
Looks that way.
4 yards on the play.
Third down and a yard. Pittman is the tailback in the I formation. And this is Pittman, and Pittman will get the first down, but whistles blow, flags drop, and this play will be for naught.
Delay of the game.
Time
5 yards,
Case.
third down.
Jake Plummer, Vince Tobin talking it over, having a good old time.
You know, when you're ahead or you're winning, you know, everything seems a little bit better.
Well, they've been very efficient. I really like the offensive line of the Cardinals today. They're doing a great job picking up blitzes and
opening those holes for the runners.
Yeah. Raiders just not getting a lot of push. It's going to be third down and 6. And Case this time rolls away from pressure, but he cannot get away from Pat Swilling, who ran him down from behind. And that'll take him out of field goal range too. So that's a big play by Swilling.
It is. You know, the Raiders, Pat Swilling, Lance Johnstone, Andre Bruce have people who can rush the passer with a lot of quickness. But unfortunately, when they're run at, they run into some trouble. But here's good pressure. Here's going from behind. He's done that 100 times, and he almost swiped the ball away, which he's known for.
Desmond Howard stands back at the 10-yard line. I doubt that he'll have a chance at this. Twisting kick headed for the sideline, and Howard lets it go, and it's going to be another good kick. It's going to be down at about the 4-yard line. So an excellent job by Scott Player, who has put a couple of them right down there. We're coming back.
about you, or in order to win ball games, you have to be there. And a big part of our job is to take hits.
Along with taking hits, Favre frequently takes chances.
And I think that's the fun part about this game. You never know what to expect. Watching Barry Sanders, you never know what to expect. And that's why I like watching him. And I think with my style of offense, it's a fun style of offense to watch. One that gets me in trouble, but one that makes big plays. That's the way I want to play this game. I want to make plays that nobody else can make. And as long as you control that, then you're okay. That's why I'm still here. Whether we're up, we're down, it's tied, I never give up. And I think people appreciate that. To play together, it's amazing. When you put all those guys together as one, what you can do. And that's why there's certain teams that go on and certain teams that fall back.
If Favre continues his pace of 30 touchdown passes per season, the Pack won't be falling back anytime soon. And if he keeps delivering championships, historians may one day remember when the kid from southern Mississippi surpassed Montana and Unitas in more than just a...
Well, that does it for our NFL Sunday Ticket special edition of This Month on Sports. And remember, to order NFL Sunday Ticket, simply tune to channel 205 and order with your remote. Well, Roger, it's the fun of being in Colorado when you go to the Broncos. Thanks for joining us. That was a pleasure to join us, Joe. And think of it this way, you go through training camp, you get no bumps and bruises. Not even a bag of ice. Although if you'd like, for time's sake, you get to run into it. Oh, please don't do that.
Individual game tickets now on sale for all Raider home games. Just visit the Oakland Coliseum box office Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. through 5. No sales convenience fees applied at tickets purchased at the Coliseum box office. Well, Jeff George's afternoon is over. Donald Hollis will replace him. Here are his numbers in the preseason. Not bad.
Yeah, not very much yardage, though. He's got 27 completions, but no real big plays.
Mickens and Desmond Howard are the wide receivers, and Hollis has been able to move this football team very well, actually. The handoff this time is to Harvey Williams, and Williams gets a couple. But the Raiders really struggled much as they did on Monday night. Here are some of the vitals on Hollis at 30 years old. He's got 6 years experience, comes out of Rice, and he has been the guy who's gotten the most minutes at quarterback in the preseason, and significantly has moved the football team when he's had a chance. Still working with the starting offensive line. Williams is the tailback. Tight end is Jeremy Brigham. Out of the backfield, that is Williams, and that's going to be a loss on the play. Williams probably would have done well to knock that ball.
Yeah, but you always think you're going to catch it and make some yards. And you know, that pass isn't bad, but it's a very dangerous pass, especially down around your own goal line. It can pop up in the air, be intercepted, or in this case, Harvey catches the football. Harvey Williams catches the football, but he loses 2 yards in the process.
Pat Sapp made the stop on the play, another one of the offseason acquisitions of the Arizona Cardinals. So now it's 3rd down and 12. Hollis out of his own end zone, throws over the middle, got a man wide open. That's the tight end. That's going to be a big Raider first down across the 30 to the 31. Biggest play of the afternoon for Oakland. Pat Tillman on the stop, a gain of 28.
And Donald Hollis read the coverage perfectly. It was a double zone, so there was no free safety. The 2 safeties split and took half of the field. And that's exactly where you want to go with the football, right down the middle as they split those 2 safeties.
That looked like a missed defensive assignment, too, as Mickens was wide open also. Give this to Williams on the short side sweep, and Williams gets about 3 to the 35-yard line, but he's 2nd and 7. Terry Irving on the stop. Second line defense predominantly now for the Arizona Cardinals.
But to go back to that pass reception by Brown, one of the things that makes that so difficult to defend is usually when they're in regular defense, a linebacker has to cover the tight end, and it's almost impossible if the guy can run and get down the field.
2nd and 7 for the Raiders. Hollis, play fake, will put it up again. And throws almost intercepted as it was hit at the line of scrimmage by Rashad Swinger. He'll be on my all moniker list.
Yeah, sure.
Take a look at the play that Swinger makes. He got that big body up pretty good, 6'2", 286.
And one of the things you're taught as a defensive lineman, get your hands up and make something happen, and Swinger was able to.
3rd and long again for the Raiders. Hollis straight back with time, a lot of time. Now he throws. It's in and out of the hand. Should have been picked. by Dexter Siegler, who probably had a touchdown had he been able to come up with that.
Yeah, the ball was thrown a little bit late. Dexter Siegler was able to close in on it. He was looking there way too long, and he was able to react right there. He's waiting. Good defensive play by Siegler.
So again, frustration for the Raiders. They get the one big play, and then number 4, Fred Brock will be the deep man now to receive the punt of Aragoose, as Eric Metcalf's afternoon apparently is over also. A wobbling kick, Brock at the 25, and he's going to run out of room in a big hurry. Gets to the 28, a return of 3 yards off the 40-yard punt. John Henry Mills makes the stop, and the Cardinals will have it when we come back, leading by 7.
One of the game's greatest, most productive running backs, 3-time champ, 4-time Pro Bowler, Roger Craig. Roger, thanks for joining us.
Not on that football field, taking a hit from the linebacker.
Stop playing him, man.
It's a part of coming in and racing. It's important to establish for all the other guys, they got to get the same way Johnson. They have to take the title. It's up. Successful to the Broncos. One of the main things here. Guys, I think Mike's done a great job of getting these guys on track. These guys, one way to stay on track is keep running football the way they did last year. Terrell Davis.
How much you gonna get? The one we had the sack on came on nickel on 3rd down. Most of the time on the slot formation back, Mike will be with guys there and say, "Watch the ball."
Now holds or shares 47 Broncos records, and whose team has won 31 regular season games as played. Of course, one big Super Bowl. You'll see a man whose team truly respects his talents and shares his success.
As a lead blocker, you don't get a lot of credit for things that you do. But when you feel that goes out, the rest of the yards comes to end.
7-0 ball game. John Henry Mills was acquired by the Raiders predominantly for this type of play, and he makes the big play to knock Brock out of bounds and limit that punt return to only 3 yards.
And he certainly isn't a disappointment for the Raiders. Second year with the Raiders from the Oilers, and he's delivered big time on special teams.
There's a look at John Henry. Played a little fullback in his time also. Cardinals start at the 28-yard line. Mario Bates is back in the ball game, and that's good news for Arizona fans. And he gets the call on 1st down and gets to about the 30, a gain of a couple. Now takes a few people with him. Might have got across the 30 to about the 32 or 3.
Kelvin Branswell attacking.
Of course, Joe Montana had you.
So Bates getting something out of nothing, picks up 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Sometimes in big piles like that, they just keep moving their feet, the entire offensive line, and the running back, and in this case Bates, and they were able to pick up, like I said, 4 yards.
Like a scrum.
That's right.
Single setback now, slot left. Raiders showing blitz, jumping in and out of it. Now they jump out of it. Case will put it up. In trouble, fumbles the football, picked up by Andre Bruce, and the Raiders will be in business for the first time at the 12-yard line. Osborne was the guy who came untouched and tackled Case. Case just dropped the football.
And you know, Barry, for a guy like Chuck Osborne, who's on the bubble of making this ball club, a play like that really puts his stock way up there.
He's always been that type of player. He's a big player. And he did knock that ball loose from Case. It wasn't just the tackle that forced it. I formation now. The Raiders in business at the 12-yard line. First time they've been anywhere near the Arizona end zone. And Williams gets it inside the 10, close to the 8-yard line. Going to be a gain of almost 4 yards on 1st down. Here's the play again, and Osborne just blowing in. Came right around Joe Wolf and then knocked the ball loose, and Bruce recovered. And the Raiders now with the 2nd down and 7 at the 9-yard line is where they mark it. They bring Williams in motion this time. Jermaine Williams is the fullback. Hollis will throw. Goes end zone. Incomplete, intended for Dexter Howard. Well covered that time. Pat Tillman, Corey Chavis.
You know, not a very good decision by Hollis there. When you send a man in motion like they did Harvey Williams that time, you're looking for one-on-one coverage somewhere. And he seemed to have picked the wrong person that time in Desmond Howard.
There's up to 13 regular season games a week.
It was pretty crowded, pretty congested there. No chance for Howard to make the grab.
Looked like Howard quit on the pattern, too, even though he saw that safety coming over there. Was going to hammer him. Hollis again, over the middle. Caught by Mickens, and Mickens is in. Touchdown. Good effort by Terry Mickens. Great individual performance that time by Mickens from Green Bay. But great in the Dallas game, then has been banged up a little bit, comes back, makes a touchdown catch, and with the extra point, the Raiders can tie.
You know, and that's the kind of effort coaches are looking for. Everybody can run around, catch the ball because that's what you're supposed to do, but then to be able to break a tackle, fight your way into the end zone, those are the little things that help players make ball plays.
So Davis will try to tie things here out of the hold of Aragoose. Good snap that time, and Aragoose puts it down, and Davis puts it through, and we're tied at 7 just like that. So despite the fact they've been outplayed big time, they are tied at 7.
It's not too often an owner sees his team get to the Super Bowl once, let alone 4 times.
And to win the Super Bowl, that was the long-awaited dream come true for Broncos owner Pat Bowles.
Looking back at this year for the Broncos, this is their 15th season. And the 14th completed season. 2 losing campaigns. That is incredible. That's not an accident. How has that happened?
Well, you know, I'd like to think that I could take credit, but I don't. I think, you know, it's the owner's job to pick the right people, and we've had the right people. That's, you know, Dan Reeves, Mike Shanahan, Jay Phillips, and I think that the best thing the owner can do is make sure that he has the right people, the right coaching staff, the right people around that coaching staff. You know, we've been very fortunate.
It seems an important ingredient to any winning team is that quarterback who could carry the moment. You've had that. John joined the organization in 1983, a year before you did. You've really grown as an owner as John has grown as a professional and as a person. Talk about that relationship.
Well, of course, my relationship with John is really going over the years. Right in the first year, when he was in his second season, I was in my first. And he's a very intelligent guy, not just a football player. He's raising the team, he's very intelligent. He's somebody that
We welcome you back. We're tied at 7. Just under 3 minutes remaining here in the first half, and Greg Davis will kick it off. Watch once again the pass to Mickens. Great individual move here by Mickens, and gets himself into the end zone, much to the joy of his quarterback.
Sure, he's happy, threw a touchdown pass, solidified even more his backup role. But, you know, if I were to be very critical, I'd almost be a little bit critical of that particular route, because it wouldn't have got him the first down or the touchdown if he'd been tackled right away. But he was able to make a big play out of it.
Greg Davis will kick it off. Mario Bates is the deep man. He handles at the 7-yard line. Gets the 20, gets a step at the 30, and got it up the 37-yard line. So a good return by Mario Bates, a 30-yard return off a short kickoff. Kenny Shedd makes the stop on special teams for the Raiders, but Cardinals will be in good field position. Bates still limping just a little bit. Went off, remember, with a leg injury of some sort. He's going to stay out there.
And, you know, you could almost be critical of that kickoff coverage, but the kick was not only short, it was a low liner kind of kickoff, and it got there in a hurry, so the receiver was able to get the ball quicker and move up the field before the coverage team had a chance to get down there.
Coaches these days, too, putting more emphasis on depth on kickoffs.
And hang time.
Yeah. Case waits for the clear out, throws underneath for Bates, and he can't hang on at the 40. So both coaches now looking well deep into their roster. Still 7 cuts to be made by these two teams. A roster of 60 now, and as of tomorrow it will be 53, which is what you start the season with. Some of those players, of course, will be on practice squads. And there he telegraphed that pass and trap. breaking the ball well. Fred Brock hang on.
And another thing about James Trapp, they think he's playing better than he has in the past as well. He's got tremendous speed, as you mentioned, world's fastest human or NFL, and he closes well on the ball and gets a good jump on it there. So he has made a lot of progress, and that bad boy image seems to have been to be subsiding somewhat.
Yeah, he came in here with a pretty good attitude, knowing full well that in all likelihood he'd be playing behind Charles Woodson, which he will be. But he seems to have really matured as an individual. But gets the ball to Brown, who picks up a few, but will be well short of the first down. And the Raiders, for the first time, have managed to stop the Cardinals. And Arizona will kick it back to the Raiders.
Good pressure by Andre Bruce, I believe, right there. Good pass rushers that the Raiders have, but unfortunately, at times, they have to stop the run all too often, and that's very difficult for linemen who are undersized.
They got a 30-second timeout here as the Raiders will call it and talk it over with the coaching staff. John Gruden removes himself from any of those conversations in this case.
You don't want to get emotional, so sometimes you stay away from those little conversations that are going on. But what's interesting, Barry, the season starts with about 2,400 players in camp, and by the time the season starts, they're down to 1,350 or so. And it's a very competitive situation out there for a lot of those players.
And every one of those guys comes in thinking that I'm going to be the next Joe Montana or Joe Green or whoever he happens to be. So Player will come on to do the punting. Desmond Howard, the deep man for the Raiders, and Player hits this one high and hit it well. Drives Howard back to the 10-yard line. Howard running laterally, flag is down, and this is going to cost the Raiders again. 47-yard punt and a high 47-yard punt. Mark Maddox makes the tackle on Howard, and flag went down almost immediately, so I'm quite sure this is going to go against the Raiders.
Play with teams on a consistent basis. Now the thing that we've got to prove is that we can beat teams on a consistent basis, and that's what we're looking to do.
Prior to this year's NFL draft, the Cardinals made a landmark trade.
Holding number 23 of the receiving team after the ball was kicked. The receivers will keep the ball after the penalty for their foul.
Well, the Raiders don't have a number 23, so
number 80.
85 is the right number now, and that is Terry Mickens, who just scored the touchdown. So Raiders starting deep in their own territory again at the 4-yard line. Hollis still the quarterback with Mickens. Derek Brown, the tight end. Rick Cunningham in the ball game at a tackle spot. Two tight ends, Brown and Brigham. And Howard and Mickens, the wide receivers. They bring Brigham in motion. Williams setback, short drop, slant for Mickens, makes the catch and gets him out of a big hole. Close to a first down at the 14-yard line. Dexter Siegler on the stop.
And that's one of the few slant patterns that have been thrown right on the money by the Raiders today.
So we'll take a timeout. So do the Raiders, tied at 7. We're coming back.
Top priority for the Cardinals after giving up 70.
Yeah, they certainly do. And a couple new running backs, Adrian Morrell and Mario Bates. What do you think? These guys know how to run. A couple guys.
Well, the man under that hat is Willie Shaw, the defensive coordinator of the Oakland Raiders, and his team all of a sudden starting to get things on track and bringing them back into the ballgame.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure by that Raider defense under Willie Shaw. Here you see them putting a lot of pressure on Stoney Case, pass swilling, sack from behind. Chuck Osborne up the middle, strips the ball away, and Andre Bruce picks it up, and from there they've got the ball in scoring position.
Raiders now with a first down at the 15, and that screen pass is batted down by Mike Moten, a rookie out of Florida. The story on Moten is that he makes big plays. He makes one right here. That could have been an interception and a score.
Not very good by Donald Halls, I don't believe. He should have dropped back a little bit further, create more separation between him and the lineman.
So it's 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 15-yard line. Williams still the tailback, and the offset eye. Straight back goes Hollis this time. A lot of time. Throws it out here. Mickens runs under it. Makes the grab at the 34-yard line. Gain of 20. Gives the Raiders a chance to run the 2-minute offense here. That was a good,
they're doing.
Good grab by Mickens that time. Hollis just floated it out there. And Mickens just ran under it. Here's a clear out for Howard. And Howard running laterally gets out of bounds with a 1st down at the 46-yard line. Raiders have 2 timeouts remaining.
But, you know, every week we take a look at Donald Hollis, and he seems just to be getting better and better and more comfortable with this offense.
Williams, Shed, and Mickens now are the wide receivers. Rodney Williams, the guy the Raiders like an awful lot. He's number 17 right at the bottom of your screen here. Has made a lot of big plays in this preseason. Hollis this time gives to Williams, and Williams will get across midfield. Let's see if the Raiders use a timeout here or not. They still have 1:18 to go. They will not apparently burn a timeout here as they come to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 5. A gain of 5 on 1st down. Hollis straight back to pass. Has time. Throws this time for Jermaine Williams, who's got a 1st down and more. 37-yard line of the Cardinals.
And I don't know, Barry, if you saw that block by Rodney Williams to help Jermaine Williams get that few extra yards down the field. He just hammered Zach Waltz near the sidelines. But that's something I'm sure the coaches are pleased in seeing. Receiver not only able to catch the ball and come up with big plays, but helping his fellow teammate with a great block there.
Really popped it. Williams, as we've said, is not a kid. He's 25 years old, though he's a rookie because he played professional baseball for a while. Hollis throws for Williams. That was going to be a catch, and Williams gets blasted in the process. Howard got a hand on the ball, and Mark Maddox just blasted him.
I think they were kind of getting even for the block that he put on Walls.
Came over and had a word with him, although I believe it was a cordial word. Watch the hit. Boom.
All your favorites. NFL Sunday Ticket. It's not on cable.
Now, off the incomplete pass, the Raiders will use a timeout, which...
Due to injury in the last 2 minutes.
Well, they call it an injury in the last 2 minutes, so they have to charge the... Although Williams is coming out under his own power.
It looks like he got a pretty good shot to the ribs, but in Cliff Branch's day, when he played all those years for the Raiders, and even Fred Biletnikoff to a certain extent, they would not run slants for that very reason, because they didn't want those undersized guys. They didn't want them getting hammered by the safeties or linebackers running those slants.
Individual game tickets for all Raider preseason and league games are on sale now. You can order tickets tonight. Call Bass Tickets at 510-762-2277. Operators will be available 10 o'clock tonight to take your order. Sales convenience fees are applied to all phone orders. Call 510-762-2277 now. Sales convenience fees. That's another one of those phrases of the 90s.
Yes.
2nd down and 10. Ball at the 37-yard line. Hollis straight back. Blitz comes. Hollis throws too tall. He intended for Williams. Had to throw the ball a little bit earlier, I think, than he wanted to. Tony McCombs was coming out from an outside back spot.
It's just like, Barry, the Raiders and the other 29 teams in the league are going to downsize tomorrow.
Yep, that's right. Another sign of the 90s, isn't it? Third down and 10, ball at the 37. Raiders not really in field goal range yet, 54 yards from here. Hollis straight back, has time, throws too tall for Jermaine Williams. Hollis took a pretty good shot that time from Patrick. Now it's going to be 4th down and they'll punt. And again, this crowd has gone dead quiet.
Pretty quiet crowd. No question about it. But some big plays have occurred. Good defense. Donald Hollis has come up with some big pass plays.
Our Goose will punt. Cardinals don't really send anybody. Rocks at the 10-yard line.
We can't afford to miss anything. So
I think the Cardinals have 12 men on the field.
Artistic eye, but they
might be right.
Incredible physical stamina as well, and great
concentration.
Yep, they did.
There's just something about being out there.
Timeout, Arizona. That is their first charge. Timeout.
Pat Tillman was running off the field, and that's why they called that timeout.
What we try and do is go inside the game with these telephones.
I think Vince Tobino has to be pretty pleased with what he's seen from his team. His first unit, very efficient, 18-play drive to score the first time it had its hands on the ball. Used 10 minutes and 40 seconds of the clock, and since that time his starters have been on the bench.
Little different story for the Raiders, though. They didn't look very
last two, or if they now are like most other teams where they're just doing their best to get ready, look at individuals, try to get a couple of different things done. And he's showing a great play. Downs that punt at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, and Kenny Shedd, Kenny Shedd has been an excellent special teams player, coming up with big plays, game after game. That's why he makes this football team.
Leo Aragus, as you see, behind Ray Guy as the most efficient Raider punter ever. Does more than just root the ball, too. He gets a lot of them inside the 20-yard line, which is the real bottom line for a punter these days.
Yeah, the last one was a perfect example.
Yep. Angled it away, and Shedd just ran under it. That's all fine. I'm quite sure the Cardinals will just kill the clock here. Just kind of wedging it out, keeping the ball, not taking a chance on a handoff. Raiders still have one timeout, but see if they use it. Well, they probably will here. So the Raiders do call a timeout. That's their last one. They won't be able to stop it again. So this next play very likely will be the last play of the first half. Uneventful first half. Take a look at these two teams. The Cardinals will play a 5th place schedule this year. The Raiders have the 9th strongest schedule. As you see, the Cardinals getting a break, because a lot of that having to do with all the late losses that they suffered last year, losing 3 out of 9 games late in the game.
Well, but another thing that mystifies me, they're both 4-12, yet the Raiders have a much harder schedule.
So Case will probably take a knee here again, and he does. Just to make sure he doesn't put the knee down on the end line, and or on the goal line, I should say. And that should be it. And the Cardinals are going to say that's enough. They will run off the field and let the clock tick down in the first half. With that, we'll come to an end. A case of the scoreboard being a little bit deceiving, as the Raiders and Cardinals are tied at 7, but I think if you took a close examination, in fact, not even a close examination of this first half clock, you would have to say that the Cardinals pretty much were in control of things on both sides of the ball. Nonetheless, tied at 7 the first half.
Nice little 12-yard touchdown pass from Donald Hollis to Terry Mickens. A great effort on his part.
And right now, as we start the second half, I really don't think final score is the be-all and end-all. Certainly both coaches like to win the game, but I think both coaches, knowing they have some personnel decisions to make, got to probably look at a lot of bodies in the second half.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough to make those final 7 cut downs, but, that's a coach's job, and John Gruden's going to face it really for the very first time.
Been a difficult task. Still smarting off the loss to Tampa Bay. Naturally, he'd like to get out of Dodge with a win, but the bottom line is keep everybody healthy and think about what really is important, and what really is important is next week.
Developed when he came to the Raiders. He knows how important that running game is, and it's not average per carry. It's how many times you actually rush the football during the course of a ball game and during the course of a season will determine usually your wins and losses.
So John Gruden and Vince Tobin will watch this preseason sort of wind down. 30 minutes of football left, and I'm sure both these guys anxious to off for real, which they both will do next week. Desmond Howard, the deep man, to receive the kick of Nedney. Nedney with the left foot drives this ball, and Howard not going to try it, about 6 yards deep. And as we said earlier, that is really becoming a big factor. I mean, every team is desperate to find a guy who's going to kick the ball in the end zone with some consistency, and Nedney's done that very well.
Well, you know, I don't think they necessarily want to kick it into the end zone so much as kick it right to the 1 yard line or right to the goal line with a lot of hang time so that their cover men can get down there and stop them inside the 20. Otherwise, they kick in the end zone, they get at the 20-yard line, so there's really no advantage.
So the Raiders will start with Hollis at quarterback. Williams, the tailback. Williams runs away from where his blocking was. Picked up less than a yard on the first snap of the second half. Donald Hollis, good size, 6'3", 210 from Rice. There's his numbers in the first half. Hollis, by his own admission, he says, I'm not a Jeff George. I'm not able to do all the things that Jeff George is able to do. I'm a grinder. I know how to play the game. I know how to read defenses, and that's how I'm going to get it done. Split backs this time on second down. Drop for Hollis. Slant for Mickens. Makes the catch and is cracked by Pat Tillman. And we have seen Pat Tillman do that on more than one occasion.
Especially you. You saw him play in college at Arizona State.
He's he's a San Jose guy, comes from your hometown.
That's right.
Was a fullback actually in high school and recruited to Arizona State as a fullback. Also graduated summa cum laude from Arizona State with a 3.83 grade point average in marketing. So if things don't work out for him in football, he's going to be just fine. Thank you very much. Here's Williams on a sweep this time, chased from behind by Mark Maddox, and Ty Howard is there to put the final stop on him.
Howard in on the stop.
You know, the game's dead even right now, 7-7. You know, what they want to do is work on their timing, get some of those players, not necessarily in the offensive line, but get Harvey Williams some more carries. He was an experiment at tight end last year. They want him to get used to being a running back again.
Howard in the ball game at a wide receiver spot. He's in the slot inside of Mickens. Split backs now on 2nd and 10. Hollis straight back to throw. Deep drop. Steps up, clears for Williams, and Williams will be close to the first down. I believe he's going to get it. Mark Maddox on tackle for the Cardinals. On the offensive line for the Raiders.
But good protection, gives him a lot of time. He finds over the middle and just dumps it off. No real, you know, not a very hard pass to throw at all.
Talk about that offensive line. It is Rick Cunningham, Mo Collins, Gennaro DiNapoli, Adam Trues the center, and Darrell Ashmore. Second unit offensive line. Collins, I believe, right now is playing the guard position. They said they were going to work him both at guard and tackle.
I think he's tackle
right now. He is
at
the tackle spot, you're right.
Because Gennaro's at DiNapoli's at guard, left guard right now.
It is a first down for the Raiders across the 40 to 41, their 8th first down of the ball game. Hollis will put it up on first down, and Howard, I think he got it. He caught it on the second effort. That was an adventure for Desmond Howard. He tripped and fell, then he got up, made the catch, ball popped up, then caught it laying on his back.
You know, he's got a lot of ability, but they just didn't feel both at Washington, at Green Bay, and here with the Raiders that he could really develop into a real top-notch receiver. But you know, he stuck with that ball and came up with a great catch.
There are the numbers on Desmond Howard. So the Raiders now in Arizona territory at the 47-yard line. Hollis again will throw. Short drop, throws for Kenny Shedd, and too tall for Shedd. I'll tell you one thing, Hollis has thrown those patterns and set his wide receivers up. Ducks.
Yeah, he has been. Those high passes, especially when you're running slants or anything over the middle, you know, you're going to get your receiver killed one time or another. It's a dangerous pass for that receiver. He wants that ball low and somebody can bend over and catch.
Yeah. 2nd and 10. Hollis will go up again. Throws over the middle and clear out. This one is caught this time by Desmond Howard. Howard is stopped at the 40-yard line. A gain of 7. Zach Waltz, Pat Tillman make the tackle.
But Desmond's seen more action at wide receiver than we've seen him in the previous 3 games this preseason.
Rodney Williams back in the ball game now. Remember, he got his bell rung earlier. Brigham is the tight end. We'll talk about him in a moment. Wooders like him very much. Hollis straight back. Blitz comes. Look out. Hit it. And threw it away. Did well just to unload the ball. Tony McCombs was coming.
Yes, sir.
So this time it was McCombs putting the pressure on Hollis. Hollis had no chance.
Well, there's somebody coming outside of
outside of Mo Collins.
I couldn't see him.
Yeah. Bruce fumbles the kick, but still manages to turn around, get it off, and drive it into the end zone. And I don't know if they're going to give him that or not, but it was sure pretty. There's a flag down right where Aragus kicked the ball. Kenny Shedd made the catch, but the guy who really made the play was Perry Carter. Now we'll see about the flag.
It looked pretty. It was a heck of an effort, but I don't think it's going to work.
Illegal man downfield, I think, is going to be the call. Well, that's by Perry Carter, and Kenny Shedd.
Ineligible downfield on the kick, number 54. The penalty would be declined. The play results in a touchback. First down.
And once again, they call it a touchback. That's the second time we've seen something very similar to that. So Aragus will just have to settle for getting the punt away. We're coming back. Ball now. Old Hollis under siege on a couple of occasions that last drive, and Aragus just to get the punt away. Stoney Case remains the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals as he brings his team to the line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line. People jumping all over the place here, which you might expect now with a lot of people not used to playing with each other.
5 yards, first down.
John Clark, and who jumped outside. Clark, no small guy at 6'6", 45. They got some big boys. Anthony Clement, who I don't believe is in the ball game right now, 6'7" and 355, the biggest Arizona Cardinal ever.
Well, 300 pounds used to be the exception. Now it's almost the rule.
Case gives this time to Mario Bates. Bates trying to bounce off a tackle. Can't do it. He'll take a loss. Grady Jackson, who's played very well in this ball game, made the stop for the Raiders.
And, you know, here's a play by Grady Jackson. As we mentioned before, he had a good training camp, got injured, pulled a groin, but showing big time today. And Folson's helps there on the tackle on Mario Bates.
So loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 16. They bring Brock to the near side this time, and Edwards to the far side. Bates the lone setback. In the slot is Kevin Drake. Case will throw at the lob it over the head of the linebacker who was rushing in there, but he did so nicely. The ball was caught by the Terry Hardy.
But that was a good read on the move. Andre Bruce jumps up, puts his hands up in the air. A nice touch pass by Stoney Case.
Still going to be 3rd down and about 4. They picked up 12 yards on that play. Blitz as Folston comes, it's picked up, and throw underneath is incomplete, intended for Brock. Good defensive job that time by Perry Carter.
And not a very good throw by Stoney Case at all.
So the Cardinals will have to punt. Desmond Howard standing back at the 28-yard line. Might have a chance this time. High spiraling kick headed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line, somewhere in there. We'll see where they mark it. And they are still walking at the 38, so that's where it'll be. The Raiders with good field position. Tied at 7 with 9:39 remaining in the third quarter. Raiders will have it when we come back. Sorry. You know, individual game tickets now on sale for all Raider home games. You can visit the Oakland Coliseum box office, or you can call Bass at the charge lines 510-762-2277. Convenience apply on sales through Bass Tickets.
First and 10 at the 38.
First down, the ball at the 38-yard line. Play fake, Hollis to throw. He's got all day, and he finally runs out of time and dumps it underneath. Well covered that time was Randy Jordan, covered by Patrick Sapp. Sapp's an interesting guy. He was a quarterback for his first 3 years at Clemson. Only played linebacker 1 year.
Sure, one guy we might want to talk about is Gary Stevens, the coach of the quarterbacks, Jeff George, Hollis, Wade Wilson.
Give this time to Jordan, and Jordan will get to about the 43-yard line, got about 5 yards on it by Zach Waltz, a rookie out of Dartmouth. Not exactly a hotbed of the NFL.
Oh, no. Can you name another player from Dartmouth?
I don't think I can, actually. Off the top of my head, I'm sure there were some.
I played with one in the college all-star. I can't think of his name. But that was so long ago.
Yes, that's right.
There's Gary Stevens, but you know, he's from Miami. He's been there the last 8 years for the Dolphins, and he's been in their offense, passing offense, and the offense in general has been in the top 8 in the league over the last 9 years when he was there.
Howard comes in motion. Here comes the blitz, and Hollis hit as he threw, and it's caught. That's a great play by Kenny Shedd, and I don't know why it doesn't surprise me. He's just a scrapper. Ty Howard had it in his hands, was thinking touchdown, juggled it, and Shedd just took it away from him. Jomo Cousins putting a big rush on Hollis.
And there it must have been a mistake by the offensive line letting you know, Jomo Cousins come in the way he did.
And there you see Howard had it in his hands, and Shedd just took it away from him. Give to Jordan this time. We'll get about 4.
Guys want me to move down? You stay behind me.
There's another look at that last play.
And there's Cousins putting the pressure on Hollis. Not a real good throw, almost intercepted, but as you mentioned, Kenny Shedd finding a way to come up on the positive side, coming up with that ball.
He does. He's in the battle too. I mean, he needs. The Raiders certainly know what he can do, but there will be one wide receiver less. Throw and catch made by Kenny Shedd again, as Lyron Cobbins was defending.
And Kenny Shedd, the last 2 preseasons, has led all receivers in receptions. Yet, you know, with Jet and Tim Brown, he's had a tough time finding a place to play.
Williams and Shedd now the wide receivers. Jordan remains the halfback with Jermaine Williams behind Hollis. First down. Hollis will put it up, short drop. Threw that one somewhere. I'm not quite sure what he had in mind there.
Well, it was a blitz, and I think he just wanted to dump it off. You know, a lot of pressure by Bernard Wilson, but I think he just wanted to dump it off to the right, but there's just way too much pressure. He had no chance.
Rashad Swinger got a hand on the ball, almost came away with it. Second down now.
Swinger's a swinging guy. That's the second time we mentioned that.
Yeah, he's been around. Shedd comes in motion this time. They might get a free play here as one of the Cardinals jump. No flag yet. Out of the backfield, Jordan, and Jordan gets to about the 34-yard line. It's only a gain of a couple yards. Patrick Sapp, Jerry Drake on the stop. Drake's another guy who's a project, but who the Cardinals think a lot of. He went to Hastings College in Nebraska. They don't play quite the same schedule as the Cornhuskers.
All right, but one guy to watch maybe is on his play. It's 3rd down and long. Let's see what kind of job he can do in an obvious passing situation.
Big 10 short drop slant for Mickens, makes the catch short of the first down. Ty Howard making sure he did not get first down yardage. The crowd here wants the Raiders to go, and I think they will get their wish.
It's another slant pattern. He throws it in there pretty good, but on 3rd down, you want to come up with something a little bit more substantial down the field. But at least they're in a position where they can go 4th down. They're in that part of the field.
3rd down and 2, or 4th down and 2, I beg your pardon. And now Hollis will take a timeout. Make sure he's got everything the way John Gruden wants it. We'll take a timeout as well. 5:44 remaining 3rd quarter, tied at 7. Coordinator of this football team, and see what he has in his mind. Fred Biletnikoff alongside him was gesticulating wildly during the commercial break. He caught a few balls, didn't he, Plunk?
He caught quite a few, 589, I believe, or something like that. And I mean caught him.
Yep. Everything.
That's right.
So the Raiders go with split backs. Kenny Shedd comes in motion. This, I would think, would be a field goal situation in the regular season. Hollis will throw for it, going for it all. He's got Shedd. He's got a touchdown. Well, they must have seen something. Bill Callahan obviously saw something.
Well, I think they expected a blitz, prepared for it. The blitz was picked up. Protection was excellent, and one-on-one down the field had no chance. Ty Howard had no chance to stay with Kenny Shedd.
Well, again, Kenny Shedd, just every year, he won't let you cut him.
That's right. Got a good point there. But a good post corner move by Kenny Shedd to beat Ty Howard to the corner.
But Shedd has done all those little things too. He made a nice play on a team's play on a punt down at the 1 yard, apparently down at the 1 yard line. It was actually wound up being called a touchback. He took a ball away that should have been intercepted by Ty Howard. He just does all those little things. And he's really kind of the heart and soul of the special teams of the Raiders. Tough to cut him. Raiders lead it by 7, and we're coming back. And let's take a look and see what happened to Ty Howard. He's number 27, a cornerback. There he is right there. Somehow got turned around as Kenny Shedd just ran right by him. I don't know what Howard was looking for. There he is, looks outside. Shedd goes inside. 6 points Raiders. Easy on a 4th and 2. Davis will kick it off now to Mario Bates at the 6 yard line. Bates comes back to 15, gets the 20, has a little gap. The 25 to the 30, still driving to the 34 yard line before he is stopped by John Henry Mills, the first man to him.
To get back to that confusion by Ty Howard, when you put men in motion, you move formations around, sometimes confusion happens like that. You don't know if you're supposed to bump the corner on that side to the outside guy and you take the inside guy, or vice versa. And Ty Howard was a little confused, and he was supposed to stick with his man, and he didn't, and he got beat because of it.
Well, we were talking earlier, I think in the Dallas game, we're talking about the character of this Raider team, and Kenny Shedd, one of the real high character guys on this football team. A little confusion on the offense of the Arizona Cardinals, and Michael Pittman is lost on the play by Grady Jackson, who just stood everybody up.
And this is penetration by the Raider defensive line.
And you see Jackson just kind of stood everybody up, forced Pittman to take an alternate route, and then he was run down by Lewis. Loss of 4 on first down, 2nd and 14. Stoney Case still the quarterback for the Cardinals. This one was caught by Brock at the 40-yard line, so he got 9 of it back on that play.
And James Trapp closed hard on that, but wasn't able to make the play that time. It's very good throw and catch.
This is one of the positions that
There he is. He's right there for the play, but he doesn't put his hands in the proper position. He should have reached in with that left arm of his instead of his right.
Start to say the wide receiver spot, a position that the Cardinals are going to have to make a cut to, very likely. Frank Sanders, their number 2 wide receiver, playing today. Case straight back, wide open. Hardy, the tight end, at the 40, at the 35, inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Mike Morton finally runs him down for the Raiders, but missed assignment there. Hardy's showing well today. He's caught 3 or 4 balls, 32 yards on that one.
And there again, I don't know if Mike Morton had the coverage, but that's certainly a mismatch from the get-go. He's got to chase him from behind. He's got no chance.
Hardy, another guy, came out of the World League, played for the Amsterdam Admirals. Played a little fullback at his time, too. In fact, the Cardinals thought they might use him as a fullback this year. Now he's back at tight end. Case finds an open block. Block makes the catch for a first down at about the 18-yard line. Albert Lewis on the stop for the Raiders, but a first down again.
And here's a situation, especially at the end of preseason, third, fourth quarter, where that quarterback makes a difference because he's moving around. People come open, come free, because a lot of younger players don't keep their responsibilities when the quarterback gets out of the pocket.
So the ball marked at the 17-yard line. Case on a quick hitch this time for Brock, and Brock gets a little bit. He'll take it down to about the 11-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 6 yards.
You know, and a quick hitch shouldn't pick up that much yardage, but in this case, you know, Richard Harvey new to this this team and these defenses somewhat.
Slot right this time, and throw underneath again, caught by the rookie Kevin Drake. Drake is hammered short of the first down. That might have gained a yard, not much more than that.
You know, and this is one of the things. It's one of the things they're doing for Stoney Case. They're throwing a lot of quick stuff so he doesn't get in any trouble. Not a very good chance he'll get an interception because of their quick, short passes, and they're keeping the ball moving that way.
Marking at the 10-yard line, third down and 3. And it's a short 3. It's really about 2.5 yards. Case will put it up. In trouble, hit as he threw. They may call that a fumble. Let's see. Raiders think they will, and I think they might. Raider ball.
And I think once again, Grady Jackson put the pressure. It was Chuck Osborne possibly who caused that fumble.
Caused the other one too. Second fumble by Case, second recovery by the Raiders. This one deep in their own territory. Well, what's being fought out here now is not so much a war, but a whole bunch of little skirmishes, and Osborne won that last one. Here's a guy who's looking for a spot on the roster.
Yeah, he's caused his second fumble of the game just by beating his man right from the get. Takes an outside swim move, comes around, and reaches out for the quarterback. Excellent job and move by Chuck Osborne there to create the fumble.
Came around John Clark to make the play. So the Raiders start at the 9-yard line. Give us to Jordan, and Jordan gets across the 10 to about the 14-yard line, picked up about 5 yards on the play. John Gruden, 34, the youngest coach in the National Football League.
He just turned 35, Barry, a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
He's an old guy now.
Yeah, he is. A couple of years of this business, and there'll be a few more gray hairs. Second down 5 for the Raiders. Offset eye this time. Play fake. Hollis will throw with time. Comebacker caught by Howard for a first down at the 24-yard line.
You know, Desmond Howard's showing himself a pretty good day, showing that he can catch that football. Or he pushes off a little bit to get open, but he comes back for the ball and makes the grab. And coming back for the ball, I think, is key in this game today, the way those defensive backs close so hard.
First down, Raiders.
So a first down at the 24. Split backs this time. Gordon Williams. Hollis with all day. Was looking deep. Throws deep and threw it center field right into the middle of the defense. Pat Tillman coming the other way for Arizona. That was just a bad pass, and there's no way to candy coat that.
Yeah, you never throw it late down the middle like that. Gives the safety especially too much time. In this case, Pat Tillman to recover. You can see the flight of the ball. He gets a jump on it. And
Hollis saying, "Oh darn!" To run off field. Say, "Oh, I better go back here just in case Tillman catches up with me."
I'll tell you a story though. One time in a game, well, here's that interception by Pat Tillman. Good job by him. But in a game, I threw a couple interceptions, and I wound up having to make the tackle both times, Barry. And I came up to my offensive line and says, I had to make the tackle both times. And my guy says, well, you threw it, you make it.
So now it's the Cardinals who start in Raider territory at the 43. Tony Case gives the pit. Got ahead of steam going. Got inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Cranks it up pretty good.
But once again, Chuck Osborne got good penetration. Wasn't able to make the tackle, but he's coming off the ball hard and getting into the backfield.
As you said, he's got played nose guard at Arizona. Second down now and 6. This time to Pittman again. Pittman is stopped behind the line, and might have been Osborne who made that play. It was. That's another big-time play for Osborne. Timeout on the field. We're coming back. We start the final period of play in the last quarter of preseason, which I'm sure seems like an opportunity to the guys out there. Third down and 5 for the Cardinal. Case threw to a man who fell down. Brock had fallen down, and now flag comes down late. And I think the Cardinals are going to catch a break here. Perry Carter ran over the top of Brock, and the reason he did is that Brock had fallen right in front of him.
Yeah, Carter was just closing on the ball, but then Brock
Illegal
went down.
contact, number 20, defense. 5 yards, automatic first down.
That's a tough call on Perry Carter. Watch Brock just fall down in front of him, and Carter just ran over his back. He had no choice.
But also, I think he made contact with him, 10 yards down, past 5 yards down the field. He was just but he was just planted there. He didn't even move. He might have known the play that was coming because he just held his ground. Brock ran into him, actually.
So down now, or rather first down and 10 after the interference call against Perry Carter. Ball at the 32. Give this time to Pittman. Nothing doing. Pittman has stood up by Grady Jackson. Jackson and Osborne, I think, have probably been arguably the most valuable players for the Raiders today.
Now, they played very well, both of them. And as I said, Grady, they were very high on during training camp, but got a little injury, wasn't able to play the first couple of games. But he's coming back strong here. Good action, good pursuit down the line. Being able to make the tackle on Michael Pittman behind the line of scrimmage.
So now it's second down and 10. And Case has to unload in a hurry and does to Hardy, who can't hang on. Well played that time. And now they're going to say roughing the passer. That's a tough call on Andre Bruce.
Yeah, I think so. He read it correctly. He put the pressure on Stoney Case. It's hard to fool a 10-year veteran like Andre Bruce. He played it perfectly well.
And
a great play.
Case is hurt. He's got an arm injury. I think maybe what they might have flagged Bruce for is not so much for what he did initially, but for what he did after Case let go of the ball.
I don't know exactly what happened because I was following the football after Stoney Case threw it, but here it is again. Great play.
got the head into him and threw him down. I think that's what, once you put that helmet on the pads, you're going to get a flag.
Well, I don't think that was so bad. I think he just continued to drive him into the ground.
And still the ball was almost caught. And Case is still down on both knees. And he's not praying. We're going to take a timeout. 14:21 remaining, final period. 14-7 Raiders.
Hey, when Jeff Stover did that to me, Barry, he dislocated my shoulder. There was no flag thrown there.
Well, I know, but they weren't as strict about it then, were they?
I guess not. As I was going to the hospital in an ambulance. Yeah. You know, that's what I think it is. Yes, he drove him into the ground. He continued to drive him into the ground, but he takes about 4 or 5 steps. But how? Or maybe that forearm up around the face. It's hard to tell. Sure, Dave Brown's real happy to get in the game.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's thrilled.
Oh, and Barry, Ricky Dudley's down there without pads on.
Yeah, but a lot of them are.
Oh yeah.
Well, John Gruden again going through the discussion with the officials here and trying to get an explanation of exactly what happened from Bob, the referee.
No, he makes contact with Stoney Case even before he gets rid of the ball, but I think it's his continuing to drive Stoney Case back, about 5 steps after he makes contact with him is probably why they call that roughing the passer penalty.
Stoney Case with an arm injury came off, and Dave Brown is now the quarterback. He will be the backup to Plummer during the season. Case will be the 3rd quarterback, and he throws underneath to Edwards, who makes the catch at the 13-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4. And Stoney Case back into the ball game. He will. So Dave Brown, who was not going to play today, and as you pointed out, I'm sure he was thrilled to be in there. He will make a hasty exit. You see the numbers on him in 7 NFL seasons with the New York Giants.
And he gave way to Danny Cannell. Jim Fossil liked him a little bit better, I guess.
And Case back in the ball game. Give to Pittman. Pittman tries to cut it back. It's inside the 10 to the 8. Be close to a 1st down. Richard on the tackle. It'll depend on the spot. And we're going to get a measurement. There's Richard Harvey. Came to the Raiders this week from New Orleans after being set free by Mike Ditka.
Mike Ditka thought he lost about a step. He had a toe injury last year, had surgery on it, and Mike Ditka didn't feel he had speed that he had once before, so opted for some other linebackers there. The Raiders like him. They think he can start for this football team, and he may very well before the start of the season.
Let's look at Mark Trestman. He's now the offensive coordinator at Arizona, having come over from the 49ers a couple of years ago. Got banged around and blamed for a lot of stuff.
I was going to mention, I know, but I didn't.
It is short of the 1st down, so it'll be 3rd down inches, and Case will keep it himself, and I think he's going to get there. But a flag is down on the line of scrimmage. Somebody jumped, and I believe it might have been the Cardinals. Saw a little head flinch, perhaps. We'll see. Going to be against the Raiders.
They might have been lined up offsides. I don't know.
Offside, number 98, lined up in the neutral zone. Distance to the goal line, 1st down.
Chuck Osborne has done a lot of good things today. Gives the Cardinals a 1st down here. And
there's Chuck Osborne. He's getting a little probably a little confidence. He's trying to get as much of the ball as he can, and unfortunately this time he was offsides, or in the neutral area, as they say.
So the ball down at the 4-yard line now. I'm sure both these teams are thrilled at the prospect of playing in overtime here.
That won't happen
though. Formation. Behind Stoney Case. Case gives on a draw to Pittman. Pittman gets a late start. Now he's got room and he takes it in for a score. Good effort by Pittman. Raiders had a shot at him.
And it was Osborne once again in the backfield. I mean, they did everything right except make the tackle.
And Pittman just delayed, and then he saw a lane to the end zone, and thank you very much.
Here's Chuck Osborne again. Good penetration. He's playing very tough. Just couldn't hang to Pittman in the backfield.
And Pittman has his second touchdown. He scored both the Arizona touchdowns, and we are an extra point away from being tied. You promise there'll be no overtime, Jim?
Yeah, kind of.
There's Michael Pittman out of Fresno State. They cut Rodney Moore, a veteran running back, earlier in the week, so that assured Pittman of a job. Nedney's point is up and good. And we are tied at 14. Coming back.
Pittman was able to elude him, but you know, he's playing well, and he did the things that he was supposed to do. Unfortunately, you got to also make the tackle.
He being Osborne.
Yeah, Chuck Osborne.
Nedney, a high end-over-end kick. Howard at the 2, to the 10, to the 20, and out of bounds. And out of bounds at about the 22-yard line, so the Raiders there. Desmond Howard has had a lot of time to play on offense, which he hasn't gotten very much, and he's taken advantage of it.
A real circus acrobatic type of catch there.
Wide open underneath for that catch. And then the comebacker.
Hanging on to the football, though. In past cases, that wasn't the case.
So Hollis remains at quarterback. We expect to see Wade Wilson at some point today. This time it's to Jordan. Jordan gets to about the 24-yard line. Got a couple. It was Jermaine Williams, not Jordan. I beg your pardon. It was Jordan.
Rashad Swinger with the tackle.
And Jeremy Brigham, the kid from the University of Washington, they're very high on. Number 87 is in the game right now.
He comes out, interestingly enough, now they split the 2 tight ends and line the 2 wide receivers up in the slot inside the tight ends. An interesting set. This is Brown. It just pads. Hollis hit him right where he was supposed to. Derek Brown, free agent, signed in May.
You know, and if you were Donald Hollis, or at least, and he's an experienced quarterback, he's been around. You know, you take Brown, you take Brigham. You know, who would you probably throw it to? You know, probably the guy with the better hands of the 2. But still, that ball should have been caught. There's no question.
This time they bring Brigham, the other tight end, and Brigham catches everything. Guy who didn't get a chance to play very much in college because he played behind Cam Cleveland in Washington. Blitz comes, and Hollis throws underneath. Catch is made again by Kenny Shedd. Shedd takes another shot for his efforts, and he's still a couple yards short of the first down. Pat Tillman will not let you forget that he's there.
No, he flies around that football field. But that's what you do. Well, that's what happens to receivers when you catch the ball underneath in crossing routes. Those safeties has to come up and really pop you.
So Aragoose will punt it away again. Brock is the deep man for the Cardinals, and Brock will try this one from the 27-yard line. Comes right back up the middle and is wrapped up as he got to the 35. An 8-yard return. 43-yard punt, 8-yard return, net of 35.
You know, and although Terry Mickens got there in a hurry, he hustled downfield. And sometimes their job is not to make the tackle. That would be great, but you know, sometimes just to disrupt the return.
Shedd helping out on the tackle again. Tomorrow, of course, is cut down day. 7 players off the current roster will be cut, and then opening day next week against Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium, and then of course the home opener on the 13th of September against the New York Giants. Tickets are available. Stoney Case back at the quarterback position. Stoney Case, that's a Texas name, isn't it?
He's a good-looking man. He's a handsome lad.
Underneath, this is knocked down by Lewis. Well defended by the Raiders that time. Case tried to force it into Fred Brock.
You know, and he played that like his old safety position, getting that arm in there and knocking the ball away. Albert Lewis is a pretty crafty guy. It was man-to-man coverage, and he just played it just like the old days, I guarantee you.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball right at the 35-yard line. Give this time is to Bates, and Bates trying to get outside. He was a step away from going, and Albert Lewis was the man who prevented it.
Now there's a lot of things can be said about youth, but experience comes in handy. Albert Lewis finds a way to get to that football.
Another one of the quality guys on this Raider team too. Watch how close Bates came to breaking this.
And that's Albert Lewis didn't allow the cutback to happen.
A lot of green out in front of him. Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Case throws, caught by Hardy again, and Hardy's been impressive today. That'll be a 1st down at the 48-yard line in front of Myron Smith.
And Stoney Case did an excellent job that time. He was under some pressure by the Raider defensive line. Andre Bruce, among others, putting the pressure on him.
12 out of 20 for 122 yards, as you see, for Stoney Case. And a 1st down at the 48-yard line. Split backs this time. Raiders come off the corner this time. And Case has to just eat it. And is dropped by Chuck Osborne, who picks up a sack.
Line of scrimmage by Chuck.
He uses that arm over again, and the guard has no chance. Can't seem to be able to handle Chuck Osborne today. Plus, they brought the strong safety that time, Calvin Branch, on a blitz.
So it's 2nd down and 17 now. Slot left this time. Stoney Case, short drop, throws through behind Drake. He made a nice catch, running laterally at midfield, and we'll get it back a couple of yards past the original line of scrimmage. Going to be 3rd down and 8. Rapp stayed with him. Nice grab that time by Kevin Drake. It was not a very well thrown ball by Case.
But it also maybe saved his life.
That's a good point.
Because they were ready to hit him there. Richard Harvey was, and all of a sudden he had to stop and come back for that football.
Ball right at midfield, 3rd and 8. Out of the shotgun once more. 4-man rush for the Raiders. Now Case steps up. He throws underneath, too tall, intended for Mario Bates out of. And that will bring about the presence of Scott Player, who will punt it away, and Rodney Williams will be the deep man for the Raiders. Williams standing at about the 15-yard line. Player gets a lot on this one. Williams will let it go. It lands at about the 1-yard line and bounces into the end zone. Took the right bounce for Player, but landed a little bit too deep for him. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. 8:35 remaining, tied at 14.
Right.
Wade Wilson, 18th year in this National Football League. That says something about him in general. He's thrown for, what is that, about 8 miles?
He's put a lot of time in over the years. Trying to find out exactly.
Wilson gives this time to Jordan. Jordan gets outside the 20 at the 25-yard line. He got about 6 yards. Corey Chavis runs him out. Chavis, 2 draft pick of the Cardinals this year out of Vandy.
But Wade Wilson's thrown for over 16,000 yards, 92 touchdowns. He's had a long career, mostly as a backup, except we started a few years at Minnesota.
Played at Minnesota, played at New Orleans, played at Atlanta, played in Dallas. Jordan again tries the same thing, but this time he is corralled by Mike Moten. Knocked back short of the 25 at the 23-yard line, lost 3 yards on the play. There's the numbers on Hollis, 18 of 30, a couple of touchdowns. Pretty consistent with what Donald Hollis has done in this preseason.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, other than show how much he's improved and gotten better with his system and such, is the confidence that I think the coaches now have in him.
Williams comes up in the slot now, to the shed to the near side, or to the far side. Wilson will go up for the first time. Clear out, goes underneath for Jordan. Threw it a little tall, although it was a catchable ball for Jordan. So the Raiders will have to give it up, 3 and out, and Leo Aragus will come on to do the punting. The pride of Harlingen, Texas. Although he says when he goes back home, he doesn't want people to notice him. He said there's a kind of a reverse thing going there where people have a tendency, if you've had some success, to think that you're cocky and you're above it all, and so be invisible when he goes back to Harlingen, which I can tell you, having been to Harlingen, is not hard. At the 25-yard line, this is brought to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, the 42-yard line. He's been watching Eric Metcalf.
Red Rock takes the punt return and the 26-yard
51-yard punt and a 15-yard return. So we'll take a timeout. 14-14, the Cardinals and the Raiders. 7 minutes left. What this is all about. Shot there, a little bump there, a little bump there. Get up, bump him again, knock him sideways, try to get into the play.
And he does.
And miss the tackle.
Yeah. Shoot, but you're a rookie or you're a wideout on those special teams, especially that punt return team. You usually are double teamed, and it's tough getting down that field.
So Stoney Case will start at the 42-yard line. Good field position. Raiders showing blitz here as they come up in the gaps. And they come with the blitz and they give it off to Pittman. Pittman gets to the 45-yard line, about 3 yards. Richard Harvey makes the stop for the Raiders. Give him 3, the ball right at the 45. It'll be 2nd down 7. Split backs this time behind Case. And give to Pittman again, and Pittman got a bunch this time across midfield to the 48-yard line, close to the first down. Mike Morton makes the stop, but if he did pick up enough, I don't believe he did. He's going to be about a half-yard short.
But I think Pittman's certainly earning his way on this football team. He's shown quite a bit of speed. He's broken some tackles. He's been very tough between the tackles. So
made a nice block on a blitzing situation.
Right,
earlier,
that's
too.
right. Picked up that blitz, which as a running back you've got to learn to do, and that's probably the toughest thing.
And scored 2 touchdowns. Bad afternoon.
Not bad at all.
3rd down a yard. Case will throw. Hitch this time to Edwards. He's got the first down and a lot more to the 38-yard line of the Raiders. And Morton again makes the stop, but not before a gain of 11.
James Trapp just not able to handle the quick hitch on Morton. He's able to take it inside and pick up a lot of extra yardage, but not a very good angle.
Wasn't any secret about that play either. It's Case just turned and faced his man, so Trapp must have been playing well off. Here's a give this time to Pittman. Pittman trying to get outside and runs over a guy in the process. Got to the 34-yard line. Perry Carter hanging with him.
Gain of 4. Now 2nd and 6 at the 34.
Gain of 4. 2nd and 6. This time Brock comes to the near side and Edwards to the far side. 4 minutes 39 seconds left in the ball game. Case play fake, bootleg to the right. He's going to run. 35, 30, first down and out of bounds. And that was run all the way.
And Vince Amy's in the ball game now.
Vince has got to impress in a big hurry.
That's right. Doesn't have much time to do it.
Gonna look at Mark Trestman on the sideline. Jake Plummer alongside him. Nearly perfect today. 8 of 8. The 28-yard line of the Raiders. This time a give to Pittman. Similar look to the last, and again it was Chuck Osborne. That was the same play really as the last one, except that this time he gave the ball to Pittman and didn't bootleg.
And the Raiders had a blitz. They had everybody coming on the line of scrimmage, and Chuck Osborne once again just having a big day. 79 just can't handle him.
John
He's in the
Clark,
backfield.
he's been eating him up all day.
But I think any number of Raiders that tackle that time had a big push going.
2nd down and 13. Ball back at the 30-yard line now. Case will go up. And it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage that time by Andre Bruce once again. He does that with some regularity.
Oh, he's a tall man. He's about 6'6". And he does put his hands up just like you're taught to do. And sometimes when you don't drop back very deep, you have a tendency to get him blocked even more often. But there you go. He's keeping his eye on the quarterback, sees him start to throw, and puts his hands up and jumps up.
3rd down and 14 now. If you're thinking field goal, 47 yards from here. Short drop for Case this time. Throws a slant. It's caught by Brock. And that is going to be enough for a first down at the 16-yard line. Fred Brock had a lot of playing time. Frank Sanders, of course, is not playing tonight. And that has opened the door for Brock. Brock in his year spent last year on the IR, was injured in the 2nd game, and spent 1996 on the practice squad. So he has bided his time and getting a lot of minutes in this game tonight. Still a cut to be made, remember, and he's still fighting for a spot on this team.
They had about 3rd down and 14 yards to go, and a slant shouldn't be able to get you enough for the first down, and when you need that much yardage to go, but it did.
Brock has caught 5 balls today for 46 yards. There's a draw for Pittman. Gets inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Morton on the stop. Disgruntled John Gruden looking on as the Raiders unable to do a lot of offensive business again today. Second down, 7. Clock now at 2:25. Pittman again gets the shoulder straight, has close to a first down at the 7-yard line. It'd be about a yard short. Calvin Branch with the shoestring tackle.
And that looked a lot like last year when they missed a lot of tackles, and they were being very much criticized for their inability to make the tackle. And once again, Perry Carter comes in and is in a position to make it. He doesn't come up with it.
And we've come to the 2-minute warning now. Cardinals driving at the 7-yard line of a tie game. Don't spit the ball up here. Well, the Cardinals kind of ending the game the way they started the game. They started it with a 10-minute and 40-second 18-play drive. They are now on the 11th play of this drive. They've used up 5 minutes of the clock, and they have it down at the Raiders' 7-yard line.
You know, very good drives both at the start and right now, and that's the kind of football you want to play. I know that's the kind of football the Raiders want to play. They want to control the clock more, keep it away from the other team's offense. Unfortunately, the Raiders haven't been able to do that.
Had a look at Joe Nedney, who is a kicker for this Arizona team, only one on the squad, and he could decide the outcome. I'm sure the Cardinals would like to see it end more decisively with a touchdown. 2 tight ends in the ball game now, actually 3 tight ends. The give this time is to Pittman again, trying to get outside. Good stiff arm, got him down to about the 4-yard line. It will give him a first down. And now 4 shots at the end zone. Trapp went along for a ride. Good strong run by Michael Pittman, the rookie. And the Raiders are going to take their first timeout. Actually, it's their second timeout. They will only have 1 timeout left.
Well, you know, Barry, and you may not kind of feel that this way now, but you know, I still think this Raider offense in particular is going to be a very explosive offense once it gets things going in the right direction, and nothing gets it going in the right direction than the start of the regular football season.
I think that's right, and I think too that in a game like this, you're looking at players. I don't think you really are going to go too deep into the playbook in terms of what you're going to show either.
Right, you know, execute. You want to do things that the way you're going to do them during the regular season when you're more fine-tuned. But still, with James Jett, Tim Brown, Dudley, Napoleon Kaufman, Jeff George, and I think that offensive line is a very solid one. I think for the most part this preseason hasn't shown it, but I think you're going to get a lot more games this coming year like the games you had when they were explosive last year.
Raiders have back a couple of starters. Lance Johnstone and Russell Maryland are both back in the ball game. They are starting defensive linemen now. On 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Pittman on the pitch. Trying to get outside, nothing good. Good play by Riddick. Knocks him back at the 6-yard line. And now the Raiders will use their last timeout.
But you know why sometimes they have to bring them in during the preseason back into the ball game? Is because, you know, at practice they don't have enough people to be, you know, run their goal line. They don't have substitutes sometimes in those positions, so they have to bring in a Russell Maryland or a Lance Johnstone to play that position because they have really no backups in that situation yet.
Well, Maryland will come out of the ball game now. Take a look at the Raiders' schedule. They open on the road against Kansas City, then a couple of home games against the Giants and the Super Bowl in Denver Broncos. Travel to Dallas, that's their September. Then they're at this same Arizona Cardinal team down in Phoenix, Tempe, if you really want to be precise, then San Diego, and then they have a bye week. In November, they play 5 games, 3 on the road at Seattle, Baltimore, and Denver. 2 of those very tough indeed. Finally, coming down to December, they have to go back and play at Buffalo in December. That's always a box of chocolates,
I remember the last time being there at the end of December. It was no fun.
And then at San Diego. So they'll have a climate changes to deal with come the end of the season. 2nd down, goal from the 6-yard line now. Case on the bootleg. Will try to run it, and he will get it back to about the 4-yard line. He is stopped by Vince Amy. At the 4, it'll be 3rd down and goal. At the 4.
And a good job of James Trapp holding his ground and not letting Stoney Case get outside of him.
That play, too, was run all the way. I don't think Case actually throwing the football.
Right.
And that'll be 3rd down and goal. And the clock now continues to run down. I'm sure the Cardinals will use all of this that they can. The Raiders are out of timeouts. They cannot stop it. And I'm quite sure that Cardinals will not put this up. Give it to Pittman, straight ahead. Touchdown, Cardinals. And the third touchdown of the game for the rookie Michael Pittman.
Yeah, but the clock.
They did stop the clock. That's true. With 44 seconds left, so the Raiders will have to hope that they get a good run back and work the sidelines a little bit. But now they got to take it into the end zone. They can't allow for the field goal kicker to try to get them back in it.
Right.
So Nedney will come on to try the point out of the hold of Scott Player. Good day for Michael Pittman. 17 carries, 43 yards, 3 touchdowns. Nedney puts the extra point through. It's a 21-14 Arizona lead. Nothing fancy about this play here. Just a handoff to Pittman, and Pittman just cut it back nicely right up the middle.
Just man blocking all the way, and Vince Amy can't come off his block. He got a hand out there, but it wasn't enough to stop Pittman from scoring. You know what that kind of reminded me of, though, Barry, during the Super Bowl when Green Bay let Denver score near the end of the ball game so they'd have more time for the drive. You know, I still think that was a proper call on Holmgren's part. I think, you know, but I thought that was a good call on his part.
I agree.
Just to throw it out there.
I agree. Well, I'm not going to argue with you.
Okay, good.
We never argue.
No, well, we can start.
No.
But Gruden, you know, he's looking for answers right now. You know, he wants to find out how to make this a better ball club before next Sunday.
Well, I think certainly there have been some bright spots. I don't mean to paint this pall over this over these last two games. I think Monday night was an aberration. I think that team was just flat and just not ready to play, and the other team was. Today, I think there were a few bright spots, but some individual bright spots.
Yeah, it looks like we might see Hollis back in there to run this offense instead of Wade Wilson.
So to Rodney Williams to get the Raiders back in some field position. He handles it at the 3, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and to the 26-yard line. Kwame Lassiter makes the stop for the Cardinals, so the Raiders have 74 yards to go and 38 seconds to get there, and they don't have benefit of a timeout. And it will be Donald Hollis.
A 22-yard kickoff return for Rodney Williams.
Oh, you know, I think that's a good decision. You know, stronger arm, he's more mobile. He'll probably come up with some bigger plays.
They bring Williams to the near side. Shed is in the slot. Howard to the far side. Hollis waits for traffic to clear, goes underneath, and will not get it done. Zach Waltz on the stop as Jordan makes the catch, and the clock continues to wind down. 25 seconds.
Yeah, not with 37 seconds to go. You got to get the ball down the field.
Hollis straight back, has time this time. Now he runs out of time, throws, and makes the catch, trying to get out of bounds. And I think he did. No, they're going to say he didn't. Clock will keep going. And now there's 5 seconds left. I don't think they'll be able to get a playoff here. They'll just try to spike it. 2 seconds, 1, and
no
not going to happen, I don't think. I think that's going to be it. Game is over, and the Arizona Cardinals riding the arm of Jake Plummer on a 10.5-minute drive to start the ball game, and the Raiders didn't really recover. Raiders opportunistic, scored a touchdown after a fumble recovery set up by Greg Osborne, who hit Stoney Case's arm. That tied the game at the half. Raiders did have one drive to take a momentary lead, but the Cardinals coming back with a long drive at the end of the game, 14 plays, 58 yards, taking 6 more minutes off the clock, and putting it in on Michael Pittman's third touchdown run of the afternoon. 21-14. The Cardinals win it, and I think you have to say if the regular season were to start tomorrow, you might have to say the Cardinals are a little bit more ready to start than the Raiders.
Yeah, both these teams coming off 4 and 12 seasons a year ago. so far the Cardinals look like they've made more improvement than the Raiders have. But the Raiders, I think once they get that offense going, I think it's going to be a big part of the strength of that ball club. Defensively, they're much improved over last year. It's hard to be number 30 again on defense. So, I think this is a solid Raider football